All right, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome. How is everybody today? What is up? Hello. Phil here, live on the stream. How are you guys doing? So, I am doing pretty good. I'm actually doing a little bit better today than I was yesterday, that's for sure. Although, I'm sure, as you can hear, I'm definitely not 100%. You know, I'm not going to lie or front here. I'm not. But at the same time, yesterday was pretty rough. Yesterday was my day back from having my day off on Wednesday. And, you know, what's happened here is that there's been a lot of cold air in Washington recently. It's been freezing temperatures here for the past 3 to 4 days. Actually, now it's been 5 or 6 days, almost a week. And because of that, my heat in the house has been going on constantly, like it's all on. And it's dry air, really dry air in the house. And in particular, when I've been going to sleep, I wake up in the morning and my throat is all dry and swollen and gunked up and yuck. And it sucks. I already have throat problems, you know, talking constantly and everything here for you guys every day. So it just exacerbates the issue. So yesterday was the absolute worst. Not only did I wake up and feel bad, then I had to do Ask the King, which was 3.5 hours of straight talking here on the stream. And then, on top of that, I had a second stream, and my voice was completely shot. Like, done. I couldn't even talk, you know, high-pitched. I had to basically just be very low volume all night when I played PUBG last night. I will say this. Thank you, everyone. Yesterday was a very great day back. In regards to you guys cheering, subbing, tipping, and showing up, the attendance was good, and everyone was very supportive. So, thank you to you guys for a great day yesterday back. It just sucks that my health wasn't so good. What I did last night is I loaded up my humidifier, which I have not used in over a year. And I said, let's see if this works. I cleaned it out with alcohol, you know, wiped the whole thing down to make sure there's no dirt or mold or anything on it. Loaded it up, turned it on, and I woke up this morning. I'm like, wow, my throat actually, it's still, you know, gunked up. It's not nearly as bad as it was yesterday. Like, it doesn't hurt. You know, it's swollen, but it's not, you know, not as bad. So I think what I'll be doing, at least for the near future, as we're having these freezing temperatures in Washington, is I will be using my humidifier, and hopefully that'll help me out. I'm going to be streaming every day for the next week. The next day off I'm taking is Thursday of next week. With some special events and stuff mixed in here. You know, tomorrow I'm doing a multiplayer day, a salty multiplayer Saturday. So that'll be fun. And then, you know, I'm doing a big drive, a fundraising drive this coming Wednesday, the final day of February, for 2 reasons. The first reason being that, as you guys have seen, this month we've had a significant dip in subscribers, okay? Basically what's happened is every single person who had a gifted sub in the month of January expired and no one resubbed. So right there we had about 60, probably 70 subs that expired that weren't redone. And then on top of that, there have been some legitimate subs that people just didn't renew for some reason. I don't know if it's because they just didn't want to, because they haven't been around, because there's been no new games. I'm not sure. So we've had this big decline. And the thing is, this is the worst possible time for this to be. The actual worst possible time for a dip in subs. Reason being, in April, I'm going to have a big amount of money due for taxes. I'm going to have federal taxes due for last year, for whatever's left over that I still owe. I'm going to have a new federal tax first payment for this year due. And apparently my back taxes for the state, I'm also supposed to figure out what they are and be told, you know, what kind of a payment plan or whatever I'm going to be put on for those as well. Oh yeah, also, I'm going to have to pay my new tax attorney to handle all my new taxes and all of that. So there's like literally 4 bills that are going to be coming due in April. And seeing an income decline in February is not good, because I get paid for most of this stuff in April. If you guys aren't aware, for both bits and for subs, I don't get that income for 2 months. It's a 2-month stagger, so I'll get it around the middle of April, which is when I need it to pay all this tax stuff. And if I have a big decline in income this month, that's not good. Okay? So, all that being said, that's the situation I'm in. So, I'm going to be doing a fundraiser stream on Wednesday. Where primarily, I'll be playing probably PUBG, maybe a couple other things if people are so tired of PUBG they want to see other stuff. I'll leave it open to what people want. But, what you're going to see is the stream. You know how I run the stream stats whenever I do multiplayer games? With top cheer, top tip, and stuff like that, running subs total. I'm going to have that going all during Wednesday's stream coming up, okay? FYI. All right, so that is the deal, folks. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be streaming quite a lot in the next week. So here's hoping that this humidifier that I'm now using is going to help me out. And hopefully, things go right. We'll see what happens, okay? So, folks, today, what are we doing? Well, let's talk. First of all, first stream today is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas HD, which I'm very excited to be playing again. I haven't played this since Tuesday. As you guys know, this playthrough, I'm approaching the game totally differently from my first playthrough. My first playthrough of San Andreas was not a very good one. A lot of people criticized me heavily, saying, Phil, you kind of rushed through the game. You didn't really do any side content. And it really just seemed like you were just in a hurry to beat it. And you know what? That's because 100% that is a correct statement. If you guys remember, back in 2012 when I did my summer marathon of Grand Theft Auto, which was Grand Theft Auto 3, then Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and then Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, okay? I was basically doing so many of these games back to back that by the time I got to San Andreas, I was completely burnt out. I just wanted it to be over. I wanted to move on and do other things. But people were really craving San Andreas, and I was like, fine, I'll do it. And I did it. And then, of course, San Andreas having some really difficult missions in it and leading to a lot of rage and frustration. And honestly, I just didn't enjoy my time in San Andreas the first time around because I had already been so burnt out on GTA with the marathon style that I had done it that summer, okay? And that was my fault. That back then, that was kind of one of the first times I had ever done a marathon style thing like this. Keep in mind, I did a few. I did a Mega Man, and then I did a Mega Man X marathon. Whenever there was a new superhero movie, I did like a Batman marathon and a Spider-Man marathon. I did a summer of retro, where I played all retro games in the summer of 2013, but really the GTA marathon was the longest running one that I ever did, where this was the main focus of everything I was doing for over a month. Actually, it took me over a month to beat Grand Theft Auto 3, and then Vice City, and then San Andreas. I remember I had started, I believe, in like July, and I didn't finish until like August. So it was pretty nuts, all right? So, that being said, guys, this run of San Andreas has been much different. As you guys haven't noticed, I did the driving school. I just completed the second Zero mission, which everyone says is pretty much the hardest mission in the entirety of the game. Plus, I'm doing other stuff too. I did the ambulance missions, and I'm much more willing to be open and do these missions if people want to see me do them. So again, guys, as I'm playing through my San Andreas playthrough here, all right, if you guys are enjoying the playthrough and you guys want to see me continue to do side content, please continue to tell me about it. Like, I wouldn't even known what the Zero missions were if people didn't explain to me what they were, okay? So, thank you guys very much for sharing that information. It allows me to make the playthrough better by knowing what kind of stuff I missed out on the first time around. And I think this playthrough has been significantly better now because I'm doing the fun stuff, or not even necessarily the fun, but the challenging stuff that I didn't do the first time around, right? So thanks for that. Let's keep that going, okay? Let's definitely keep it going. I would definitely like to keep doing this stuff. So, yes, good stuff, right? So today, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, my first stream here, will be around roughly 4 hours of gameplay, as I always usually promise. Tonight will be more Secret of Mana. I know it's definitely a niche playthrough, and there's only a smaller group of people who are watching and following me play that game, but I'm really liking it. So far, I'm about 4 hours in. I actually had a really productive session last session where I fought 5 bosses and completed 3 dungeons. I'm looking for, more fun progression tonight. We've unlocked magic. We've unlocked all kinds of fun stuff now in the game. So the game has dramatically changed in the last session, okay? I hope you guys will give it a shot tonight on stream. Give it a chance. Even if, it's not your cup of tea, these old school games. Last session, a lot of people were talking with me, and we had fun. Basically, we had fun. During the grinding, we had fun just talking. And then during the boss fights or whatever, it was fun to see that. So, it was pretty good. I think the playthrough so far is going pretty good, and more tonight, all right? Tomorrow, ladies and gents, is going to be a salty multiplayer Saturday. If you guys are not aware, I am going to be playing multiplayer games all day tomorrow. First stream, just like last time, will be Call of Duty World War II. And last time I played, I actually did really well. Like, I was impressed with how well I did. I thought I would be horrible. I came back and did really well. My kill-death ratios were really good for most games. And, it was pretty fun. So, that's going to be tomorrow's first stream. Call of Duty should be pretty fun. And then tomorrow night, Star Wars Battlefront 2 will return. Okay? Now, this is going to be significant because Battlefront 2 got a big update this week where they updated skins, they patched a bunch of stuff, and rebalanced stuff. And also there's a new game mode where everyone has jetpacks. So it dramatically changes the gameplay because everyone can just fly around every stage. That could be interesting. It could be chaotic as well, really silly. But I'm curious to try it out, okay? So that's going to be tomorrow night. More Battlefront 2. And then, yes, we will have more San Andreas on Sunday. FYI, guys, more than likely both Sunday and Monday, and I know this sucks, but probably both Sunday and Monday are only going to be one stream days. And you might say, well, why? That kind of sucks. We like your double stream days. Well, first of all, on Sunday night, I do the weekend preview. But in addition, I have to start working on my taxes. My tax attorney wanted me to have all my tax information completed and submitted to him by the end of the month. I have not had a single chance to work on it, as you guys know. First of all, I was sick. Then my girlfriend moved in with me, and you know what I mean? Like, everything's been boom, boom. Everything's been so busy. I haven't had a moment to myself to really do anything. So, that being said, I need some time to do it, and the taxes for me are not easy. I have to sit down and manually go through everything, every credit card, every, PayPal statement, the entire PSN transaction history, the entire Xbox Live transaction history, my Amazon purchase history. There's a significant amount of things I need to go through to make sure that all my expenses are accounted for. And then on top of that, then I got every month, what did I make from each income source and divvy it out. And I have a big spreadsheet of data that I have to put together in order to do this. And then finally, once all that's done, which takes hours and hours of work, I then have to go, submit that to my tax attorney. So folks, yeah, it's going to take some time. So probably both Sunday and Monday night, I'm thinking. More than likely, that's going to be taxes, all right? But I will still be streaming those days, at least one major stream, okay? And then, like I said, hopefully everything will be settled. And then Wednesday, the final day of February, I'll be doing a big, fundraising special marathon to try to see if we can booster up our subs for the end of the month. And to see if I can raise a significant amount of funds for the end of the month so that come, April, I hopefully will have enough money to pay these taxes that I know I'm going to owe, all right? Now, also, folks, if you guys aren't aware, if you guys are not aware, all right, I'm doing a Indies marathon, an Indies marathon on the 3rd of March. And that Indies Marathon is going to feature at least 4 indie-style games. Right now, the patrons are voting on those. So I'll have more information on that as we get closer. Right now, initial results that I believe games like Doki Doki Literature Club, VR Chat are already in the lead. But I haven't looked at it in a couple of days. They were in the lead when initially I had put up the poll a couple of days ago. So we'll see how the voting goes. We'll see how things go. And, we'll go from there. I'll give you guys more data as it updates and becomes available. Sound good? In addition to all that, I'm already going to be playing Get Over It. Or is it Get Over It or Getting Over It? I think it's Getting Over It. That's the game that everyone, you know, indie style was playing last year. It was the game where the guy has like one arm or something. He's trying to climb shit. It's really bizarre. So I'll definitely be playing that, and then I'll be playing a few others as well. All right. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else important that I'd like to mention before we get started with the usual stuff here on stream. I don't know. I don't necessarily know. Oh, or I will say this, folks. I will say this because this actually happened in the last day. So someone contacted me, and they said, Phil, you know, I've been hearing your woes recently in regards to your television. And, you know, I know that you have an old TV, and I would like to possibly actually maybe donate a new TV to you if you have an idea of a model that you would like or whatever. And basically I told the guy, this is God's honest truth, you know. I said, listen, I really appreciate your offer, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm more concerned right now about being able to pay my taxes and stay where I am. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice of you to step up and offer to possibly donate a television. Now, keep in mind, you never know when people do stuff like this. Is it legit or not? You don't know. Although, I'll be honest, a lot of people have been very, very generous to me in the last year. I've had a big, you know, positive feeling around streaming and everything. So, more than likely, this was legit. I would say this probably was legit. Okay? And so, this, you know, I said to the guy, I would feel, not only would I feel bad, I would feel very irresponsible accepting a television donation when, what if I can't pay my taxes and by the end of this year I have to sell my house and move? What's the point of getting a new TV if you have to sell your house? You see what I'm saying? So I told the guy, I said, listen, if you really are, you know, caring about me and you want to see me continue to do this and everything, I appreciate the fact that you want to try to upgrade my equipment, but I don't think that's the beneficial thing right now. The beneficial thing would be, you know, through other means. So if you want to pledge to my Patreon, whatever you may have contributed for a television, or if you want to, you know, tip me or cheer on a stream or whatever, you know, I told him I got a fundraising stream coming up next week. That would be the time. But listen, please do not just send me stuff. Do not, you know, buy me stuff. I'm trying to do the responsible thing. Okay, the responsible thing here is I need to pay the taxes so I can stay here and live here. You know, my girlfriend just moved in. We got to focus on the good stuff, the important stuff, right? It's not so important that I reduce the input lag on my TV. It is pretty important that I keep my house. All right? So, there you go. Excuse me, sorry, I swallowed the wrong way. Ugh. I was swallowing and drinking and went down the wrong pipe. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Excuse me. Yeah, I made a burp because it went down the air pipe. Ooh. Okay, so, yeah, folks, if you're feeling generous, man, I heard that Phil recently has been saying stuff about his TV or, you know, his PS4 is having audio issues. I appreciate that sentiment. And, you know, like I said, there's been one person in particular who stepped up and said they might want to donate. I'd much rather prefer if, you know, we do something during a fundraiser or whatever, a patron pledge. That's much more important to me than getting a new TV right now. Okay, just saying, just being honest with you. Okay. Okay, folks. All right. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it. So let's go ahead. Let's go into the plugs segment like usual. And then when that's done, we got actually a pretty good amount of shout outs here today to do on pre-stream for people who've been cheering, subbing, and tipping before we even started. So thanks for that, guys. All right. So, folks, let's do it. Let's go ahead and let us do some plugs. Sound good? All right, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for being a viewer of my content. Hope that you enjoy these streams, the new era of positivity that we have around them. Also, thank you for being a viewer of my videos on YouTube. If you are watching this on YouTube, I appreciate that as well. However, if you do enjoy my streams, and of course, if you do enjoy my on-demand videos on YouTube as well, and if you would like to go above and beyond, possibly, supporting my efforts more than just being a standard viewer, there are many ways that you could do so. The first of which would be to pledge to my Patreon. You can check it out over at patreon.com/darksidephil. Your monthly pledges, first of all, aid me in the cost of operating the business, the cost of the games, the cost of electricity, internet, etc., etc. But your pledges also earn you really cool monthly perks, including things such as getting text or verbal thank you shoutouts in my videos, getting the ability to nominate and vote on games for events. Like I said, right now the patrons are actually voting on indie games for the upcoming Indies Marathon on March 3rd. In addition to that, you can also get your questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, which just aired yesterday. For those who didn't see it, it is live over on the King of Hate vlogs. You can check it out at your leisure. But yeah, a bunch of people had their questions answered because they were patrons and they earned it per their perk levels, okay? And of course, over on Patreon, the highest perk level is to get a private Q&A video where anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes, I'll just answer whatever questions you have, and it's your video to do whatever you want with. You can save it for yourself. You can share it with your friends, you know. It's pretty neat. It's the best perk by far. It's the perk that most people enjoy, and a lot of people who've actually gotten the perk like it so much, they go ahead and do it again. So check it out over at Patreon, patreon.com/darksidephil. And thank you guys very much for your ongoing support. I appreciate it. Okay? Alrighty then. Alright. Number 2, folks, my Teespring shop, where you can buy all kinds of fun merch. Right? T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all kinds of fun stuff. And basically, anything you buy from my Teespring shop, I get a pretty significant chunk of commission from, so it helps me out, okay? But in addition to that, you get a pretty cool collectible or piece of merch or whatever, swag, whatever you want to call it. If you do happen to buy something from my Teespring shop, first of all, 2 thumbs up, thank you very much for the support. But also, feel free to send me a picture on social media, and I will share that with my over 25,000 Twitter followers, okay? Okay. Okay, and last but certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are here live on the stream and you want to go above and beyond just being a regular stream viewer, maybe you want to get a shout out during the stream, get some interactivity going, well, if you either cheer, sub, or tip during the course of today's stream, I will give you a verbal shout out, a thank you per se. Keep in mind, it is at my discretion. You know, some people try to do troll cheers or troll tips to try to get attention. I'm not going to read those out. In addition, if you do post something that's completely off topic or private, or, you know, a lot of people sometimes, oh, here's a paragraph. Yeah, I'm really going to stop playing my game to read a 20-minute paragraph. No, I'm not. You know, some things are better left for Ask the King. But, you know, for the most part, people who cheer, sub, and tip are pretty respectful. Their messages are pretty, you know, interesting and pertinent. They add to the playthroughs. So thank you guys for that interactivity. And again, I am more than happy to give you a shout out if you do any of the 3 things. Now, if you cheer 50 bits or more, if you subscribe to the channel and click the share button, or if you tip me $5 or more, you'll also get an on-screen pop-up thank you notification. All right, pretty cool. In particular, we're featuring 2 new ones. We've got a new cheers notification, which is me dancing around trying to catch bits in 2 pictures. And then the new sub hype notification. Both of these were created by Popsicolo. So special shout out to Popsicolo, who created these recently. They're adding to the streams. It's refreshing things a little bit. Makes things feel new and exciting. So thanks very much. And also, the reason I really like the sub hype message is because it reminds people who are subs to use the sub hype emote in the stream chat. So you see the sub hype on the screen, then you go sub hype in the stream chat, and it gets people all pumped up for subscriptions. It's pretty nice. So, thank you very much, guys, for your support. I do appreciate it. Looking forward to your interactions. Ow. I just cracked my neck. Ow. Looking forward to your interactions during the course of today's stream. Should be a good one. All right. All right, let's go ahead and do some shout outs for those who cheered, subbed, and tipped during the course of today's stream. Sound good? First of all, Infinite55 did a 25-bit cheer overnight, so special shout out to Infinite for that overnight cheer. I do appreciate it. Be the Baby Rex did a 100-bit cheer today, and he says, glad you're finally back to play this. Can't wait to pick up the challenge run again. Yes, for those who aren't aware, there are some people who, when I play games, all right, they actually play those games along with me. And they want to see, gee, how do I do better than Phil? Did I do worse than Phil? You know, am I taking longer or quicker? Am I quicker than Phil at playing this particular game? A lot of people like to do that, like challenge themselves to see if they can beat me. And I know that Be the Baby Rex is doing that. So there you go. Pretty cool. Thank you, Be the Baby Rex, for the cheer. Olivisaurus Rex cheered and said, besides Vinny's Pizza, what other restaurants in Bridgeport and Milford, Connecticut area would you recommend? Oh, geez. Let's see. Okay. In Bridgeport, there's another one called Massimo's. And even though I don't particularly like their pizza too much, I do like their different Italian dishes. So Massimo's Italian restaurant in Bridgeport is also really good. In Milford, oh God, what was the name of it? There is a good place out in Milford. They've got good hearth oven pizza. You know, they bake it in like a brick oven, stones with a hearth. God, I can't remember the name of it though. They're pretty good. I do like them a lot, but I can't for the life of me remember who they are. Shit. There was also another restaurant near the water in Stratford, Connecticut. It's down near there's a dock area where there's a bunch of shopping and there's a bunch of restaurants. And this is another restaurant where it's basically seafood is their specialty. And they have some really unique seafood dishes, including clams and stuff. But God, I can't remember the names of these places. I haven't been to Connecticut now, in 4 years. So the names are starting to fade. I could probably drive right there. If I was in Connecticut, I could drive there right now, but I can't remember the names of the places. That kind of sucks. Darn. Son of a bitch. What's it called? All right, if you want really good seafood in Connecticut, you got to go to this place called Jimmy's. Just look it up. You'll find them online. Jimmy's. I think it's Gimmie''S. They do really good, like really big platters of fried shrimp, fried clams, anything you can think of, different beer batter shrimp or beer batter fish, for fish and chips, shrimp cocktails. Man, they do really good stuff. But it's funny place in the summer. They get all the fresh catches from the local area. If you go there, you have to wait like 2 hours to eat because it's so popular. People go there for all the fresh food. Anyway, that's just a few places. There you go. Reminiscing about back in Connecticut. Be the Baby Rex did another cheer. He says, also, I got all gold in driving school last night. Took me the entirety of the last 2 days. Good Lord, dude. Good Lord. You are a beast. I don't know what else to say. That's got to be ridiculously difficult, dude. Ridiculously difficult. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Okay. Shout out to Dono Farms. Dono Farms. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, Dono Farms, for the subscription. I appreciate the support. GameBoy81298 did a cheer and said, here's some cheers to buy a beer. Thank you very much, Game Boy, for the cheer. I appreciate it. Critical for Days did a cheer and said, seeing that the terms of service of Twitch are going to change in March, which is funny. They were supposed to already change, but apparently Twitch pushed it back for whatever reason. I don't know why. He says, I hope the trolls won't use that against you if they even could in the first place. I don't see how they could, because the terms of service are basically, number one, no hateful content. And if you actually watch my stuff, maybe every once in a while I'll make a silly joke about race or something like that. But for the most part, if you watch my content, you're going to see it's not hateful at all. Maybe every once in a while I'll get overexcited in a fighting game or something. But never do I go on hateful tirades. Never you hear me, constantly saying ridiculous, bigoted things. And that's really what they're trying to clamp down on. They're trying to clamp down on people that are just regularly doing ridiculously extreme things on stream in order to get attention. All right, that's the first major change that they're instituting. And the second is basically, girls, I hate to say it, but girls who take advantage of their bodies and show off their bodies on stream, having their boobs hanging out during a stream, having incredibly skin-tight spandex clothing. You can see their nipples coming through, and basically everything to get money from horny guys who can't help themselves because they have no self-control, and they're pretty pathetic that they'll just throw money at a girl who's half naked on stream just because it's a half naked girl, not even because she's a gamer or nothing. And apparently, from what I'm going to understand, I heard this from one of my viewers yesterday. There's a few girls who have primarily made their living on Twitch doing this. And now they are desperately changing. They're desperately trying to change their streams and their content to actually be like gamers. Even though they've never really legitimately done that on stream, they're now trying to change their content to be what would be in line with the new terms of service. And apparently it's hilarious. Like, some of them are so bad at games that to watch them wear like a regular shirt and play a game, everyone's like, this is boring as hell, and they're leaving. It's like, well, you know, how long did you expect this gravy train to continue? You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, Twitch is not going to allow that anymore. So it's going to say goodbye to the girls who only get money on Twitch because they show off their bodies. Oh well. But those are the two major changes, right? Certainly, I'm not going to be affected by the second one. I mean, I'm pretty sure that people don't know me as a sexual streamer. The only one that maybe could be spun is every once in a while if someone tries to take something that I say on stream completely out of context, then they could try, oh, Phil said something hateful on stream or whatever. But anyone who regularly watches my stuff knows that's not the case, that I'm not one of these extremist streamers who regularly swears, regularly says these ridiculous things to get a rise and to get controversial attention on Twitch. Every once in a while, maybe I'll get a moment of rage or whatever, but it's just like a normal human reaction. You know what I mean? And you know, I think the reason Twitch is doing it is because they really want to bring the advertisers over to Twitch. Since YouTube has lost a big chunk of the advertisement on their website, Twitch is feeling this is our opportunity to lasso those advertisers in and say, look, we don't do the kind of garbage content that YouTube does. This is the place to be. We're seeing exponential growth and profit while YouTube has never turned a profit and everyone is leaving them in droves because everyone hates the website. I think that's what Twitch is trying to do. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that it's not going to matter. Like, what could they possibly do in regards to my content, you know? Right now, I'll tell you right now, guys, people try to do this all the time. They try to take a clip out of context or whatever, and they try to get me in trouble. So far, zero, zilch. Never have I ever gotten in trouble for anything on Twitch. Twitch does not, you know, think that anything I've done has ever been in violation of their rules. I think the one exception was at one point, like a year and a half ago, if not longer. They actually reached out to me to say, here's how you should talk about bits. Don't talk about bits in this way. Talk about bits in this way if you're going to do it. And I was like, oh, okay. And ever since then I did, and I've never had a problem with Twitch ever again. So Twitch has been really nice to me. And, you know, I really like the business. You know, they've been, boy, have they changed for the positive, let me tell you. Since I used to be on Twitch back in like 2013, 2014 to now, the change I've seen in the attitude of Twitch and just the way the business has evolved has been pretty impressive. So I think I'm the good. I don't see, you know, anything happening to me as a result of these, you know, terms of service changes at all. Okay. Shout out to Ballsy Fred, who resubbed for the second month in a row. I'd like to say thank you very much, Ballsy Fred, for your ongoing support. Very nice. Shout out to UG6 Live, who also has subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Shout out to Illivisaurus Rex, who cheers. What were your favorite places around the country to visit when you were a competitive Street Fighter player? I really liked Texas. Texas just seemed a lot different from what I was used to. There were different businesses and different things in that area. The people were really nice. Who I ever met from Texas, really nice people, really nice gamers who were very welcoming, and it was real cool to hang out with them. And the tournaments in particular were really well run. You know, usually when I traveled to go to tournaments, and they were really well run down there. In addition, when I went down there for DSPGaming convention, also kind of the same thing. The people were nice. First of all, the people from DSPG are incredibly nice. I don't know if you guys ever met, well, most of you probably never met Stuttering Craig. He's probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. Like, he was really a gentleman and very, very inviting, welcoming to people who came to his convention, in particular me being a guest at his convention the year that I was there. He was really cool to us. And, you know, shout out to Stuttering Craig. I haven't talked to the guy in a bajillion years. I think, like, no lie, I think like 2013 was the last time I talked to the guy, or 2014 was the last time I talked to the guy. But he's a real nice guy. But anyway, you know, everyone I met during DSPGaming convention down there was real nice. So just some of the nicest people I ever met in a really nice area. I was there during the summer. It was really hot. But I don't know overall how the weather is there, but I just like the area, okay? Well, also, I would say this. Atlanta, final round tournament in Atlanta. I really like that tournament, and again, I like the people who run it. The guy who's in charge of it, who, by the way, I feel real bad now because I personally was friends with him, and I can't remember his friggin' name. But he was, again, one of the most inviting guys I ever met in my life. Really nice guy. And his tournament was always well run, really, really well organized. The one thing I hated about Atlanta, the weather. Dude, the weather in Atlanta, Georgia is hot as fuck. Dude, it's so humid. It's so humid. Like, you go outside and you feel like you're swimming. You're like, oh my God. It's terrible. So, like, that's a nice place to visit. I would never want to live there. I couldn't stand it, dude. No, Master Saru, Eric Smalls does not run Final Round. What are you talking about? Final Round in Atlanta is not run by Eric. Eric runs the Philly tournaments. Philadelphia tournaments. That's another place too, you know. The Philadelphia tournament scene is really nice. And the times that I visited Philadelphia for tourism were pretty nice too. Although, again, that's another place I like to visit. I would not want to live there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Chicago, I really like. Even though I know Chicago gets a real bad rap. If you go to the bad parts of Chicago, there's a lot of crime. The good parts of Chicago, the touristy areas, are really nice. I've been there twice for tourism purposes and really enjoyed it. And that's a place that I would actually like to go back to. Although, again, it's another place I hear during certain times of the year there's extreme weather that's really bad. So, I'm trying to think. Is there anywhere else? I'm sure there's plenty of places that I've been, but, you know, this. All right, let's just end it because this is pre-stream. Let's not go crazy long. That's where we'll leave it for now. There you go. All right, where was I? Haha. Shout out to Fontail, who subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Fontail, for the sub. I appreciate that, Fontail. The Asian Entrepreneur just did a cheer and says, show off your sexy pecs and killer bod. As fire back, Kappa, Kappa, Kappa. You enjoyed the winter weather, Phil? I'm snowed in. We actually did have snow Wednesday night. It was about 2 inches, but it melted already. Like, all the roads are clear. There's a rumor. Well, it's weird because I have weather on my phone, but then I also have a weather device it's a satellite weather device. It connects to some satellite weather service. The device says we're going to get snow today. My phone says we're not. So who do you believe, right? But we haven't had any significant snow. Like, we very, very rarely in Washington get significant snow where I live. Maybe every once in a while we'll get a couple inches and it goes away within a day. The exception was a year or two ago. We ended up getting about maybe 6 inches, and that lasted maybe 2-3 days. But we'll never get, like, significant snowfall. Like, when I lived in Connecticut, are you kidding me? Yeah, during this time of year, like, every other fucking day you get a foot. Well, we don't get that out here, thank God. So, Game Boy did another cheer, and he says, in me, Andromeda, when they make a second game, will you play it? So I think what he's trying to ask, I think he screwed up when he was typing here. If they made a second Mass Effect Andromeda game, would I play it? I mean, I'm going to be honest here. I am a huge fan of Mass Effect, and Mass Effect Andromeda was such a fail that even if knowing that the sequel may be bad, I may have to play it just for curiosity's sake. Because I couldn't believe how bad Mass Effect Andromeda was. It was kind of like a shell shock how bad that game was compared to the other Mass Effect games. And I might, if they made a sequel, which I doubt they're going to, because if you guys aren't aware, BioWare pretty much publicly said at this point we're not working on anything Mass Effect. You know, Andromeda was so poorly received and didn't sell anywhere nearly as well as they had hoped that they pretty much killed the franchise. They stopped patching the game. They stopped doing anything. So, yeah, pretty bad. But I might play it just on curiosity's sake to see what they do with the franchise if it does ever continue. Shout out to Fontail. Fontail did a 25-bit cheer and says, I made you a video loop for your pre-streams. Maybe you would want to use it. How would I send it to you? Well, if the best way, from what I understand, I believe Google has like a Google Drive, or there's a way you can upload video files to Google and then send someone a link, and then they could access it if they have the link. That's pretty much the best way, because attaching it as a file is not going to work in email. It's going to be too big. So, yeah, or, I mean, I'm trying to think what else you could do. I think Google Drive is the best way to go about it. I guess the question, though, would be, what is it? You know, what is the video loop of? Is it something good? Also, I don't know if I can use it because OBS, in particular, OBS, you know, I can set it up to play videos individually. But I don't know if I could set it up to have, like, add a video to, like, a slideshow or a playlist. Like, right now, I'm doing a slideshow of you know, pre-stream cards for you guys. I don't know if I'd be able to put a video file in this. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I used to be able to do so when I used XSplit years and years and years ago. I mean, we're talking 2015 was the last time I used XSplit. So I don't know. Certainly, if you have something that's good, I would consider trying to figure out how to use it in OBS. So, yeah, there you go. Hazama Taichu just did a 50-bit cheer and said, I'm new here, so I don't know all the games that you've played yet, but are you interested in playing BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle? Not in particular, and let me explain why. Number one, because Arc Systems, ArcSys, their games are some of the most complex fighting games on the planet. They have some of the most ridiculously complex combat engines, little intricacies and things that people who are longtime fans of the series are well adjusted to, but those who have not played the installments recently may be behind the eight ball. Sadly, I have not played any ArcSys fighting game since, like, Guilty Gear XX or something, like one from, like, a bajillion years ago. It was, like 10, 15 years ago. Ridiculous, like the early 2000s, all right? Although I am a fan of them and I have watched tournaments and I respect people who play those games, they're just not my cup of tea. And then recently I played Dragon Ball FighterZ, and that one is a more simplified version of an ArcSys engine, and I do like that game. But in particular, BlazBlue, or BlazBlue, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I know for a fact I wouldn't be good at it. It would be a huge learning curve for me. And in particular, the art style, like the anime-ish style, is kind of meh for me. So for me, no, I'm really not interested in BlazBlue. More than likely, if I were to be interested in a fighting game, the next game is more than likely going to be the Street Fighter Anniversary 30th Collection that's coming out in May. That one I'm probably going to be covering extensively because I will have actual game knowledge of those games from the 1990s. I'm probably going to do really well in it. I'm really excited for that collection, and I hope it's really good. So, there you go. But thank you for the cheer, Hazama. I do appreciate it. Olivisaurus did another cheer and said, weren't you considering moving to Texas when you left Connecticut? What areas did you look at? Yes, several areas. Looking at Florida, Texas, Washington, obviously. And I'm trying to remember. I think there were one or two more. And in particular, what we were looking for was, number one, places with low or no state income tax. All right, that was number one. Number two, places that were business friendly. Places that were known that if you were going to start your own business, that either they have nice tax credits or they don't charge you a lot of taxes. You know, generally low business tax. Because, you know, I knew, number one, that I was going to stay self-employed and have my, you know, either be classified as self-employed or owning my own business depending on the requirements. And I didn't know what it was going to be, but I didn't want to be paying out the butt in taxes. In Connecticut, I was paying a ridiculously high state income tax. Like, it was such a ripoff. Plus, property taxes were high. Sales tax was high. Like, everything was high. Well, everything in Connecticut is incredibly expensive for no reason. So no matter where I moved, outside of maybe a few really high-priced places, like maybe if I moved to New York City or L.A., maybe it would have been more expensive. But literally anywhere I moved would have been lower, cheaper than living in Connecticut. The other factor was weather. And quite frankly, the reason why I moved to Washington was because Texas, Florida, you know, all the other places that were business friendly, the weather isn't good. The weather ends up being incredibly hot during parts of the year. And you get hurricanes in Florida and stuff like that. So ultimately, what the choice that I made was for the mildest climate plus the most cheapest taxes and business-friendly place, and that's why I moved to Washington, and it honestly was the best choice out of all the ones that I was considering. Okay. Let's see here. Brickleberry fan cheered and said, "Will Cat stream in the near future? Because I would totally cheer to her to support you guys." No, we have no short-term plans in regards to that. Let me put it this way. What she wants to do is totally up to her, and I'm supportive. Whatever her decision is would be totally up to her. The one limitation that we would have, okay, is obviously we can't both be streaming at the same time. That it's not possible. There's only one modem that we have upstairs for our offices, and we'd have to basically share it. We share the modem. I wanted to have 2 modems installed on the top floor when I first moved here, and I was told by the cable guys it can't happen. That would be basically having 2 modems right next to each other on the same line would destroy each other's bandwidth. There's no point. So that's why I have one upstairs and then one on the other side of the house downstairs. That works, and they don't interfere with each other. But if to have 2 upstairs wouldn't work. So it would be like I'm streaming, right? And then when I'm not streaming, she streams. Well, how would that work? Because you guys know how much I stream, right? I stream a ton. I'm streaming all day. Then there's a break for dinner, and then I'm streaming at night usually. So maybe it would be if there's a night when I'm not streaming because I'm doing the weekend preview or something. It wouldn't be. It would have to be a shared thing, and it's not something that really we sat down and talked about yet. Right now, she's getting settled in and just used to living here in the state. We're currently getting her set up with all her stuff so that she can start driving, and then she could get set up with her new job and everything. That's the focus right now, But long term, if she ever wanted to do stuff like that, I certainly would not be the person saying, no, you can't. We'd figure it out. But I don't even know what she would want to do. Like I said, it's not let me put it this way. It's not a concern. All right. It's not a concern at all. It's not something major that we're focused on or anything. Right now, we've got many more important things to get settled in and handle before we start worrying about that. But hey, long term, maybe it will be something that's considered. Okay. All right. Ballsy Fred cheered and said, "Can you do a poll with Donkey Kong Country 2? It was the 6th highest selling game for the SNES. A poll with Donkey Kong Country 2? What does that even mean? Like a poll of games that I should play with that game in it as a choice, maybe? You guys don't seem to understand. When I do polls, I don't pull games out of thin air typically. Usually, the games that I pick are between new releases or games that people nominate via like Patreon and stuff. It's not like here's a poll of 4 random games I pulled out of my butt and vote. It's not like that. Listen, if people want to see Donkey Kong Country 2, there will be many opportunities coming forward this year with Patron's Choice playthroughs and other such events that I'm sure people would have opportunity to nominate and see if these games could happen. All right. Okay. Be the Baby Rex says, allegedly Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to get a patch soon. 3rd time's the charm. Yeah. Well, isn't it funny? The game's been out for a month now. And literally, everyone but the top streamers, I hate to say this, everyone but top streamers are complaining, saying, why is it that when we play this game, I disconnect from the server? Why is it that it takes so long to get a ranked match? Ring matches regularly error out and drop. Online connectivity claims it's 2 milliseconds, yet sometimes it's laggy as hell. It doesn't make any sense. Why is the online play of this game so bad? But top streamers never mention it, right? Gee, I wonder why. Because you keep going to their streams and giving them money, so of course they're not going to complain about the game online, or else why would you keep showing up to their streams when that's all they're playing? I mean, it's pretty much common sense, but sadly, the common stream viewer who supports this kind of practice doesn't have common sense, I guess. I don't know what else to say. So all that being said, Bandai came out, I think it was yesterday, and said, we're finally going to try to fix the online. It's like, a month later, you've already announced 2 DLC characters. You're going to try to sell for a game that doesn't work properly online, but now you're going to try to fix the online. Okay. So we'll see what happens. I would always be willing to come back and try again. Once the online is supposedly fixed, okay, if it's supposedly fixed, then I will come back and try it. All right, but I'm not going to play it until Bandai does something. I'm not. It's a waste of my time at this point. I learned that definitively last week when I tried to do a final session of it, and the same problems over and over and over. So, yeah, okay, so We'll see what happens. If they patch it and people say, wow, Phil, this is better, maybe I'll go back and give it another shot. We'll see. Okay? Fontail cheered and said, I have the Google Drive link for you, but where do I send it to? Oh, darksidephil@hotmail.com. The DarkSidePhil public email is good enough. And Asian Entrepreneur cheered again and said, you should have moved to Canada for the free healthcare. Kappa, kappa, kappa. But you're in Washington State, so you're near Canada. Thank God you didn't move to Texas and Florida. Hot-ass weather plus tornadoes. Plus, it's Texas. Yeah, ultimately, like I said, when I was considering all these places, quite frankly, I think Texas and Florida would have been cheaper to live. Like, the prices in general of stuff there are much cheaper. Like, going shopping, sales tax, that kind of stuff. But trade that off with terrible weather, how can you have a reliable business when half the time there's a hurricane outside? You know what I mean? I think I did ultimately make the best choice. Really, I did. I mean, for me, the quality of my stuff, the fact that I was able to make my room, my office into basically a broadcast studio, the quality of the stuff that I've been putting out since I moved, the overall fact that usually I'm not a I mean, a rare occurrence this last week where I had no power, right? But how rare is that? It's not often at all that shit happens. So for the most part, I think I did make the right decision. Plus, both Kat and I love it out here. We love the weather. We love the amount of shopping and stuff that's right near us. Everything's in a close proximity. Everything's very easy out here. It's more laid back, more relaxed. Stress levels, outside of the stress that I get doing bullshit online with the trolling and stuff, the stress levels of in-person life stuff is really low. So I do feel that I did make the best choice. So, King of Hypocrisy, please stop it with your ridiculous cheer. All right, I'm not gonna even address what you just said. It's stupid. Okay. All right. I think we're good, right? I think we're good. I think it's time to begin with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being patient. Let's see where we go. So I got to do the final 0 mission to finish off that quest line. And then we're going to get back to the story because I don't think, I guess typically, I could do the firefighter missions, but I don't know where to get a fire truck from. And I know there's taxi missions, and that's all I'm aware of right now. Like, I don't know of any other side content, so if you guys know of other side content in the game you'd like to see me do, please let me know. All right? But outside of that, I'm having fun with the game. And hopefully, we get some good progress here today, and you guys enjoy the stream. Okay? Alrighty then. Thank you. All right, everybody. Let's end the pre-stream, and we shall begin. All right.